I planted the impatiens yesterday. I bought them the day before yesterday. Today is Tuesday, the 26th of May, 2020. And then I've got this Acer Tree type of maple that I've trying to do kind of a lollipop look. And I swear every time I keep losing what they are. This is that other Acer Tree, another maple. And you know, we've got the bog in the front yard. And there's more rhododendron in the back. I would show you this way, but then I would be, well, I'll just go like this. And I've got this gorgeous grape scented elderberry. But now for the fun part, the back. The back is the best. So the garden tour continues through the house. So, oopsie, I forgot I have bread in the oven. That's one loaf. The second loaf is a little bigger. The timer is running, but I don't know if you know, when it sounds like that, bread's done. So I'm just kind of standing here waiting. And the house smells so good. I bake bread like every 2 to 3 days. And there they are. They are both done. So we're going to now go to the back and do the garden tour. Want to come tour with me, boo-boo? You go outside? I thought so. Okay, here we go. Okay, so the hanging baskets are doing really well. The hummingbirds are just absolutely in heaven. This is the camellia that I moved from the front. It was just getting way too much water. However, I have noticed that while the leaves are a bit yellow, it is putting on what appears to be a significant amount of growth for what would be considered maybe a sick plant. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how she does. Okay, these are the begonias. They're still kind of in recovery mode. I don't know if they ever really will, but I am enjoying the blooms. The leaves just look a little, That's a little water feature for the butterflies and the bees. I have some seeds coming up with, this is garlic that I planted, and I think this is the fall harvest garlic. So I'm just gonna let it chill. We'll see what happens. Okay, my absolutely favorite peony. I brought these with me from the other house. It's lived its whole life in this giant pot from day one, and I've had it about maybe 7, 8 years. It's always beautiful, never fails to perform. I've got some buds coming out on the delphinium that froze. And of course, as you can see, I've still got brand new pansy buds that I'm trying to get you where I can, it's hard to see. I don't know. I hope it's all right. I'm trying to provide food that they can find and will enjoy. That's my hope. Okay, we're gonna go through Shabby Versailles first because there are some surprises on the other side I want to save. So I have some yellow marigolds that I'm going to put here in Blueberry Manor. I just feel like that would be a good pop of color over here. And this is where, if you might remember, where I put the Daphne right there. She's looking pretty good from being transplanted. The Lamia has just gone insane. The purple flowers are amazing. And it's one of my all-time favorite ground covers. I was hoping it would cover the stump that was left here from the previous owner, and it has just outperformed my expectations. But if you've never seen or used or had Lamia in your landscape, it almost looks like it's been painted. And this is completely covered in buds right now. It's really good for the bees. I fed it just regular liquid plant food when it was about half this size about 2 weeks ago, and it has just gone insane. Oops. Okay. This barberry needs to be trimmed again. I really wouldn't care that much, but it's at the entrance to Shabby Versailles, and I don't want people to get poked. If you follow me on my sewing, you know how I feel about needles and pins when I'm sewing. That is some grass that I planted last year, and I can't remember the name of it. Had fire in the name, so it's just an ornamental perennial grass. I've got some seedlings coming up here, and I've got this massive, insane Clematis, or Clematis, however you want to say it. Tomato. Not really sure how I feel about this beast, but who knows. Okay, then we've got viburnum. It's already bloomed. Okay, this guy has been working on his deck for 4 days, and we're just gonna have to deal with the noise. I can't not do the tour. Anyway, so it's already bloomed. It will set on its berries. It's really putting on some new growth, and I may have to kind of rein it back in. I have seedlings coming up here. And then there is the Japanese Hydrangea, which has a Galya, however you want to say it, in the understory. I'm not really sure why, again, but there we go. This is Mystery Tree. It has buds. If you know what this is, please just drop a comment down below. Kind of curious. I'm almost thinking dogwood, but I don't know. If it is a dogwood, it was really pruned horribly. I don't know. I can't imagine. These are all new to me, you know. I found out that this is a California lilac, and I was told by a gardening group to take care of it. Evidently it is precious. I would take care of a weed. That's just how I roll. Here we have another viburnum. It is starting to put on red berries, which I love. It's a lot of garden color. Peonies that I moved from the front. I really didn't want them getting overhead water, and I needed to move them, so I did. And that little lovely is called a curly leaf white pine. More seeds I've planted. This is a white bachelor's button. And then of course I've got the Cocosmia and the hanging basket right there. So that is basically it for Shabby Versailles. And then we head into Shade Palace, and Shade Palace now has some blue fescue. I'll try to remember to look for, it is a Monrovia. Oh, I forgot I added salvia over here to Shabby Versailles. It's a proven winners, and it's called Blue Persia, I think. I hope it lives. I don't have much luck with salvia, but we'll give it a go. So anyway, Monrovia, and I don't remember the name. We'll see how that does. My Limelight is sulking. I don't see any sign of bloom anywhere, so I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. I talk to it every day, still nothing yet. The weed that I'm not sure of yet, don't care, it's pretty, I like the leaves. This is a conglomeration of viburnum and peony. They've just kind of blended into this insane recipe here. It will be really pretty, I think, when the peony begins to bloom. It'll be a little bit later because it's really in the shade. More peony here. And then this is like a little woodland area. Some people call the variegated leaves invasive. I absolutely think they are precious, and I'm leaving them. But they lead off into the arborvitae. I think they're beautiful. Okay. Burning bush. Another Acer type of maple. Just some random forget-me-nots that I am going to pull out. I'll show you up on the deck. I have some Bells of Ireland that I'm going to put here once they have got really a good set of second leaves. They've started to develop second leaves, but they're not quite there yet. The heather is looking, you know, it'll fill in. It's just being transplanted. I'm just glad it came back. I was a little worried about it, and I love heather. So, and then I noticed this little teeny tiny ground cover that I saved. Let me see if I can find it. There it is, right there. I saved it because it came back, and I don't know if the previous owner planted that there. I don't know, but I couldn't resist it, and those little tiny flowers are so enchanting. I thought, what the heck? I'm just gonna hang on to it. And then up here in the tree, I've got 2 hanging baskets. This one I moved over here because I was trying to figure out what I really wanted to do with, and I just didn't have a place for this one. So he's kind of hanging out here in this maple tree with the other hanging basket. And it has the candy flower that I dug some up out of the yard and put it in with it, and I think it's really pretty. It's the spiller and kind of the filler in that one. So, this is the Big Daddy Mop Head blue hydrangea that last year was just such a performer, and already, as you can see, I've got some serious budding going on. I just love this one. It's huge. It takes up a lot of the, you know, kind of this shady landscape that I don't know what else I would do with. So I'm happy that's there. And then I've got this crazy lily that is almost half as tall as I am now. Can't remember what it looks like. I think it was red. But it seems to be dividing, because last year it was just one of these Dr. Seuss looking things, and now I've got like 5 or 6 of them down there. So I don't know. There's another burning bush. And then my maple tree I tied up because the droop was really bothering me. I didn't like it. And I've got some mulch that I've still got to put out. There's some Campanella hiding. Let's see if I can focus on that. There we go. I've got little clumps of Campanella. People say, again, that it's invasive, it's a weed. I love it. I think it's beautiful. And it fits in with this shady landscape. I mean, this arb is huge. So I kind of need something that'll live there. There's another viburnum that bloomed, and I don't know if this will set on berries or not. So we'll all find out together. This is the wagon that Chuck got for me. It is dynamic. It's a gorilla cart. This is completely non-sponsored. We paid for it. They don't even know who I am or that I have it. But it is a super, super nice little cart. I can't show you what all it does because it's full of water and stuff, but there's an airplane. We're pretty close to a small airport. So anyway, but yeah, if you need a garden cart, I can truly recommend it. It's amazing. Okay, there's another burning bush and another bunch of peonies that I moved from the front, and of course that gorgeous Clematis. I looked it up to see, you know, what other people call it. It's kind of a regional thing. Look at that big old bee. Hornet. I'm not worried because he's all involved in the sugar on my peony. Evil looking, isn't he? Wow. Gosh, he's big. Very, very big. Yeah, I think that might be something I don't want to be stung by. I think these 2 hydrangeas are Annabelles, And then I planted a white mandevilla down there. That is actually planted in the ground. I'll have to dig it up. And then over there, I just kind of buried the hibiscus pot in the ground. And I love that beautiful orange, kind of a pale orange pop along this fence. I lost my sweet peas, so I wanted 2 vining plants, and that's why those are there. We'll see how they do. If it doesn't get warm, they'll probably have to come in the house. And look at the kiwi. Yeah, it has just taken off. I'm going to try to redesign this area right here. What I need to do is get some sand or dirt to fill between these stepping stones. It's really hard on me to walk on this, but that's really all I have over here if I'm coming from the garage. And I constantly like end up with my foot halfway in between a rock, like right up there on that step. It's very painful. And for somebody who has, like, you know, horrible knee pain and bad hips, that's just not a good idea. And that cart is the main reason. I need to redesign right here to include some grass that just leads off of this path and off that direction, because I can't continually pull it up over these steps. It's too much. The wagon can handle it. I have a hard time with it. So I'm trying to figure out how I want to do that. I'll probably end up having to move a couple of those stones, and I know that that rotten wood and that piece of rebar will have to go. I might even have to move the Galya and just kind of make a little grassy path through here. This is, of course, the candy flower that has just taken over, which I'm completely happy with. I think we're going to, that's another hydrangea that will stay. I would love to just cut that rhodie to the ground. I know that they come back beautiful if you do that, and it is just so ragged looking. I cannot stand it. I mean, I don't really have a complete dislike for some plants, but rhododendron is not one of my favorites at all. So I'm hoping that I can get other people on board with my thinking. So the little dwarf Korean lilac has basically finished blooming, so we can just kind of enjoy its leaves, and I'll probably try to give it a haircut and kind of keep it up off of this Galya here. Notice I'm saying Galya. I don't know how you pronounce it. If you can figure it out and let me know in the comments below, that would be great. There's another rhodie that has to go, either just cut off at the ground or completely removed, one or the other. And I put in some impatiens down here underneath this little water dish. And the daisies are just popping. They haven't started blooming yet, but I love daisy leaves, especially these big, beefy daisies. I can't wait to see those and do a tour with them. They are beautiful. And that Campanella behind it has just really gone crazy in the last couple of days. Okay, so I'm walking up the other set of steps onto the deck. This is the Puris japonica, I think is how you pronounce it. That is my other fuchsia that little Zippy 8 or 9 absolutely loves. Okay. And my husband built this for me. And basically what I can do is bring it in, put the food in there, and then swing it back out. It is on a hinge on one of the posts. So there's that for the birds, which is great. Of course, I looked out the kitchen window when I was getting the bread ready, and there was a big old fat squirrel sitting in there, so I had Bama come out and chase him off. They get plenty of food. I'm not too worried about them. Okay, and as you can see, the Rydia is just going crazy, and I can't wait to see at least just one bloom. I'm hoping I'm going to get a bloom. I don't know. We'll see. I have my herbs. So I got the parsley, the basil, and the chives. I had to bring them outside because having these terracotta pots sitting on the granite countertops, they were just too cold. So I thought, well, I'm going to have to take care of that, and I brought them outside. This is a tomato that I actually planted. I planted a tomato, and that's what I'm getting right there. But wait until you see. Hi, Bama. He's like, I don't want to be on that. This is the bells of Ireland, and I can't wait for these to get planted in the ground. I will have to remove the mass of forget-me-nots, but you know, by that point they've already bolted. They just kind of need to be pulled out. That's what happens. These are the 3 massive dahlias that I've planted. This was all from the yard. I'm not sure if that's focusing. The sun is behind me and I can't see, but I mean, I've got my thriller filler spiller right out of the yard right there. And I think that's pretty much everything to date. It's just a big wet mess out here, but it's starting to look pretty good. I think a little bit more sunshine and we'll really have some pretty amazing spring flowers, even though it's May. Almost, it's late May. It's the 26th. We're still in spring. I mean, we typically have May winter in the Pacific Northwest. So anyway, thank you so much for watching. If you liked this video, please hit the button, thumbs up, subscribe, and I will see you next time.